Hello, I'm Grayson Ottaway. Welcome to another marvelous video. Cyrax, one of the 3 original deadly assassins turned cyborg as part of Lin Kuei's cyber initiative, made his debut in Mortal Kombat 3 and the following games. Of the 3 cyborgs, Cyrax has shown major destructive powers alongside a plethora of martial arts techniques that he uses in close quarters combat, making him an extremely formidable warrior. One of the first cyborgs to recover his humanity, Cyrax has always been a misguided character who never wanted to become a cyborg in the first place, but was forced into a life that he absolutely despised. Let's jump in to learn about the complete lore surrounding one of the most misunderstood characters in the universe of Mortal Kombat. Before we get into our explanation, a very small request. If you like our content, please support this channel by subscribing. Very small click for you, but for us it means a great deal. Thank you so much. Let's go. Exploring the storyline of Cyrax in the Mortal Kombat universe. The original timeline. Part of the Lin Kuei clan of assassins hailing from China, Cyrax was one of the most formidable warriors that the clan had produced. Cyrax, along with Sector and Smoke, was ordered to hunt down the younger Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang, due to his resistance against the Cyber Lin Kuei initiative. Since the code of the Lin Kuei forbids its members from disagreeing with the decision of their Grand Master, Sub-Zero's actions had made him a renegade and hence a target. Cyrax's chase of Sub-Zero continued to no avail. During the time when the Emperor of Outworld, Shao Kahn, started his invasion of Earthrealm by force through his vicious armies, Sub-Zero and Cyrax confronted each other. Sub-Zero was able to defeat Cyrax, and subsequently he successfully reprogrammed Cyrax to search for and assassinate Shao Kahn instead of himself. Cyrax was unable to battle Shao Kahn before his eventual defeat at the hands of the defenders of Earthrealm, and hence he never got a chance to complete his mission. Programmed to await further orders, Cyrax eventually malfunctioned due to not receiving any commands. He wandered endlessly before getting stuck somewhere in Jade's desert, surrounded by nothing but emptiness. Cyrax was eventually found by the Lin Kuei, who recovered and restored him later. Although he had made a complete recovery, something about him was different from when he was initially constructed. Functional again, he was sent into battle alongside Cyborg Sector, who would assist him and also monitor him. During the time when Shinnok was defeated by the forces of light, it was seemingly apparent that Cyrax had started seeing visions of his past self, flashbacks from when he was a human warrior before turning into a cyborg. Following this, Sonya Blade and Jax Briggs escorted him to the Outer World Investigation Agency headquarters. They operated on him and intended to restore his humanity. Using the technology at hand, they were successful in doing so. A grateful Cyrax pledged allegiance to the Earthrealmers in return for their help and acted as a scout in Outworld. Now in Outworld, during the events of the deadly alliance between Shang Tsung Quan Chi, Cyrax was ambushed by the 2 Oni, Moloch and Draman. He successfully defeated the 2 demons, but while doing so got lost in Outworld. He was later ambushed by Reptile, who was sent by the vampire Nitara, who had schemes of her own for Cyrax. Although he was able to defeat Reptile, Cyrax's arm console took some severe damage during their fight, which resulted in his incapacity to create a portal back to Earthrealm. Shortly after, Cyrax was approached by Nitara herself. She graciously offered him help to return to Earthrealm, but in return, she requested a favor. She wanted Cyrax's assistance in recovering an old artifact that would allow her to separate her homeworld of Vitarnes from Outworld. Agreeing to help her, the 2 traveled to an underground chamber of a hollow volcano, said to house the egg of the forgotten dragon king Onaga. As per her directions, Cyrax submerged himself in the molten lava and found the orb that Nitara wished to acquire. After Cyrax returned and handed her the orb, the vampire Empire kept her word and aided Cyrax in returning to Earthrealm by using a magical necklace to open a portal which would lead him straight back home. After some time, we see Cyrax as part of the forces of light in the Battle of Armageddon. We can see him attempting to fight off Shiva, the Shokan, from ascending the Pyramid of Argus, but the Shokan was too powerful for him and he was sent flying. In the final cutscene, Cyrax's dead body is visible on the stairs of the pyramid. The current timeline. As the timeline shifts, we're greeted with the first Mortal Kombat tournament hosted by Shang Tsung in progress. Shang Tsung had personally invited the Lin Kuei clan of assassins to take part in the tournament, and so, representing their clan, Cyrax, accompanied by the elder Sub-Zero and Sector, participated. Although originating from Earthrealm, the Lin Kuei warriors were fighting on behalf of the Outworlders, and they were tasked with eliminating as many Earthrealm warriors as they could. As the tournament unfolds, Cyrax seeks his fellow Lin Kuei, Sector, to talk about the decision of their Grand Master to cybersize the Lin Kuei and turn them into ruthless killing machines which can follow orders relentlessly. During this conversation, we can see Cyrax is hesitant to follow through, as he does not want to lose his humanity for the cause. Just then, the fallen Shirei Ryu warrior Scorpion arrives, and since he is from a rival clan, Cyrax and Sector start mocking him. Cyrax then shoved Scorpion, and Shang Tsung saw this as an invitation for a fight. Scorpion was pitted against the combined powers of Sector and Cyrax, but the Spectre was triumphant and defeated the two Lin Kuei warriors. After their battle, the elder Sub-Zero arrived. He was the only person that Scorpion had been yearning to fight since the start of the tournament, as he wanted to exact his revenge. The battle took place in Netherrealm, but only Scorpion made his way back to Shang Tsung's palace with Sub-Zero's charred skull and spine in his grasp. Afterwards, Raiden and Cyrax stood over Sub-Zero's remains, and Cyrax ensured that he would defeat Scorpion for killing Bihan. Raiden then questioned Cyrax about the cyber initiative that the Lin Kuei was planning. Cyrax expressed how he was reluctant about the decision before Raiden started reprimanding him for fighting for Outworld instead of Earthrealm. The Thunder God further mentions how if Shang Tsung wins, Earthrealm will be no more, and subsequently the Lin Kuei would also perish. Pondering over his actions, Cyrax leaves the palace, but we see Baraka eavesdropping on their conversation. Later, Baraka informs Shang Tsung about Cyrax's conversation with the Thunder God, and so Shang orders Shiva and Baraka to kill Cyrax. The two confront Cyrax on the bridge high above the pit filled with steel spikes. Shiva mentions how Shang does not require the Lin Kuei's help anymore before attacking, but the two Outworlders are defeated by Cyrax. He then makes his way to Shang Tsung to confront him, but sees Sector having a conversation with him. After Cyrax approached them, Shang Tsung expressed his displeasure at the fact that Cyrax was seen talking to Raiden and stated how it put their plans at risk. Sector then assured Shang that Cyrax would complete his mission as he was part of the Lin Kuei. To test this, Shang announced the next fight of the tournament to be between Johnny Cage and Cyrax. Tasked with killing Johnny, Cyrax defeated the actor but refused to end his life, disobeying his direct order. He was then followed by Sector, who confronted him for his disobedience. As their argument turned into a fight, Cyrax defeats his fellow Lin Kuei warrior and states that he will no longer be part of the Lin Kuei. Although he strongly opposed the cyber initiative, Cyrax at some point was forced to become a cyborg warrior alongside Sector. We see him in his cyberized form when he confronts the younger Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang, in the Soul Chamber. Horrified to see what had happened to his friend, Sub-Zero expressed his remorse before he refused to comply with the Lin Kuei. The two then engaged in battle, with Sub-Zero coming out on top. Later, when Sub-Zero defeated Scorpion in Shang Tsung's Colosseum, he was ambushed by several cyborgs who neutralized and captured him. Shao Kahn is then approached by the cyberized Sector and Cyrax, who pledge their complete allegiance to the Emperor in return for taking Sub-Zero. The Emperor agrees, and the Lin Kuei cyborgs leave with Sub-Zero in their possession for his cyberization as well. Now under Shao Kahn's command, we see Cyrax in the throne room after Shao Kahn's defeat at the hands of Liu Kang. When the wounded Emperor, who was thought to be dead, appeared in front of them, each warrior under Shao Kahn bowed in respect, including Cyrax, but excluding Shang Tsung. As events transpired and the invasion of Earthrealm began, we see a newly reprogrammed Sub-Zero entering the place where Sector was giving out orders to the forces of Outworld. Cyrax is also seen receiving orders before departing with Noob Saibot. Finally, we see Cyrax in action once again when he is ambushing the warriors of Earthrealm under the command of the resurrected Queen Sindel. Cyrax faces Nightwolf but is defeated by the Shaman and is not seen participating in further events. After several years, and with the arrival of the Titaness and the Keeper of Time, Krognika, a time-displaced Cyrax reappears in the timeline when Krognika merges the two timelines for preparation of her new era. During the time when Grandmaster Sub-Zero and Hanzo Hisashi were attempting to infiltrate the Cyber Lin Kuei production factory to put a halt to their operations and destroy the facility, they saw the time-displaced Cyrax alongside a cyberized Frost. The two Grandmasters' plan was to reprogram Cyrax and destroy his behavior inhibitors. They distract Cyrax while dealing with Frost, and after defeating her, Cyrax unleashes several Cyber Lin Kuei warriors to fight them. Upon defeating Cyrax, Sub-Zero is able to bring their plan to fruition by freeing Cyrax of his cyberized enslavement. During the time it took for the incapacitated and reprogrammed Cyrax to regain consciousness, Sub-Zero and Hanzo successfully defeated Noob Saibot. Upon awakening, Cyrax is horrified to see what the Lin Kuei has done to his body. He then realizes that it was Sub-Zero who freed him, alongside a former nemesis from the rival clan, Hanzo Hisashi. Cyrax expresses how surprised he is by all of this, and how Sub-Zero had aged tremendously since they last met. As the three try to come up with a plan to destroy the communications network of the factory, they are attacked by Sector. After one of the Grandmasters defeats Sector, Cyrax starts the process of shutting down the network. But before he proceeds, Cyrax begs Sub-Zero not to revive him if it means that he will come back as a cyborg. Sub-Zero consoles him by telling him that he will have a place in the Lin Kuei regardless of being a machine or a man. With their final valedictions out of the way, Cyrax proceeds to destroy the communication network of the Cyber Lin Kuei factory and effectively disables all the active cyborgs, including himself. Cyrax also had an interesting comic book story arc. Cyrax was present in the Mortal Kombat 10 comic series. Following the events of Mortal Kombat 9, Cyrax remained as a servant to the Cyber Lin Kuei under the command of Sector. During the time when Kuai Liang attacked their base in Shuliangu, we see Cyrax giving a status report to Sector. Cyrax mentions how Kuai Liang has infected most of the Cyber Lin Kuei warriors with a virus that originated in Chicago. Even though nothing notable has occurred since they were infected, both Sector and Cyrax express their growing concerns over the virus. Eventually, when Sub-Zero is brought before Sector, he orders Cyrax to start the process of an emergency memory dump so that all the cyborgs can get rid of the virus from their system. Cyrax hesitates to follow Sector's commands and states that something feels wrong to him. As their conversation continues, the virus has successfully affected all of the present cyborgs. The virus was said to intervene with the slaving protocols built into the cyborgs, but Sector mocks Kuai Liang in his futile attempt as he gloats about how all the warriors under him have no sense of righteousness and nobility left in them. Sector then commands Cyrax to finish Sub-Zero, and he charges his shot while Kuai Liang tries to reach out to his former ally. Cyrax then shoots his net towards Sector, and states how he must do this for humanity. The virus had successfully freed Cyrax from his enslavement under Sector, and as the latter evades the surprise attack, he calls Cyrax a defector to their clan and cause. The reunion of Sub-Zero and Cyrax is halted by Sector, who attacks them by unleashing his flamethrowers on them. Sub-Zero promptly reacts by using his ice to counter the flames. Liang then questions whether Cyrax can shut down Sector's cyborg army, which he denies, and explains how only Sector can do that, and that the clones require a central master to command them. Sub-Zero then successfully defeats and kills Sector, and subsequently all the cyborgs that were surrounding them start to await their further instructions. They unanimously elect Cyrax to lead them, as he was the final remaining original Lin Kuei cyborg. Perplexed by the situation, Cyrax requests the army to leave the premise so that KY and Cyrax can have a conversation. Cyrax shows his gratitude to Sub-Zero for freeing him from his enslavement and expresses how it was his honor to fight alongside a noble Lin Kuei warrior for one last time. Even though KY, Liang, is hopeful that Cyrax's humanity can be restored, Cyrax refuses and states that Liang is the new Grand Master of the Lin Kuei before initiating his self-destruct protocol. As the two bid farewell to each other, Sub-Zero escapes, Cyrax explodes, and in doing so, he destroys Sector's complete facility and all the cyborg clones inside it. Cyrax had a brief but impactful role in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the movie. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was the 1997 live-action installment in the Mortal Kombat movie franchise, acting as a direct sequel to the 1995 film. Directed by John R. Leonetti, Annihilation's story takes inspiration from the storyline present in the games, namely Mortal Kombat 3, and some elements from Mortal Kombat 4. Although the first movie was more of a watch for casual moviegoers, Annihilation was directed towards the gaming community and fan base surrounding the Mortal Kombat franchise. The story follows Liu Kang and the rest of the defenders of Earthrealmers in their struggles to stop the malicious Emperor of Outworld, Shao Kahn, from invading Earthrealm. If Shao Kahn were able to conquer their realm, it would mean the end for all inhabitants and make Shao Kahn grow even stronger. Shao Kahn enlists a resurrected Queen Sindel to facilitate his invasion of Earthrealm, alongside his band of warriors that have sworn their loyalty to Outworld. Warriors from Outworld are both high in numbers and extremely fierce and formidable. One of their numbers included the cyberized ninja from the Lin Kuei clan of assassins, Cyrax. We see Cyrax in action when he attacks Sonya Blade and Jax Briggs in Earthrealm. Sonya Blade and her companion Jax Briggs are to be hunted down and killed by Cyrax, who's leading an Outworld extermination squad to a United States Special Forces military research center. Cyrax ambushes the two members and they engage in combat after Cyrax shoots an acid web from his body. Jax's new mechanical arms are impervious to the toxin, and so he is able to fend off Cyrax's attacks. Cyrax is brought down by Sonya's incendiary blast, but as soon as he activates his self-destruct mechanism. Although before Cyrax explodes and completely ruins the lab, Sonya and Jax are able to make their escape and barely get out of there alive. Apart from Cyrax, the other cyberized warrior from the Lin Kuei fighting for Outworld include the formidable warrior known as Smoke. Although his role was extremely brief in the movie, Cyrax was present as one of Shao Kahn's lackeys, who would await their master's orders and follow through with extreme force. The looming threat of capable warriors from the Lin Kuei adds another essence of danger for the heroes throughout the movie. What was Cyrax like? Cyrax, a Lin Kuei assassin who was forced into becoming a cyborg through the Cyber Initiative, has appeared in the series as both a misguided adversary and a supporting character to the heroes. Cyrax first appeared as a playable character in Mortal Kombat 3 and has remained such ever since. He made a playable comeback in Mortal Kombat 2011, debuting his human form for the first time in the series before eventually reverting to his cyborg form. Cyrax first appeared as a color palette swapped version of the Cyborg ninja character with bright yellow armor, a helmet that sticks out forward slightly to create a crude break, and wires that resemble hair growing out the back of his skull. The Special Forces gave Cyrax a facelift for Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance that included new glistening armor and a heartbeat regulator on his chest. Cyrax has had a complete redesign in the most recent Mortal Kombat games. He's shown with green eyes, much more armor plating, and noticeable scratches throughout his armor as a placeholder for his battle scars. The opening in his chest reveals an energy core stored within, and his helmet has been faithful to the original but has had minor improvements. Yet it still resembles a rudimentary beak-like structure. In Mortal Kombat Deception and Deadly Alliance, he also bleeds oil, which is shown with a dark bluish and black tint. What made Cyrax so dangerous? As a cybernetic ninja, Cyrax is well equipped with both a plethora of weapons and the ninjutsu-based martial arts that he learned during his time as a human in the Lin Kuei. Cyrax has several pieces of weaponry in his chest cavity that may be used to disable and obliterate enemies. Cyrax is one of the 3 cyborg ninjas and is most often associated with bombardment because of his armament of controlled explosives and a seemingly endless supply of ammunition. He also has access to an energy net that may render his targets motionless and entirely helpless. Not only did Cyrax retain some of his cybernetic components when his soul was restored to him, but the Outworld Investigation Agency also equipped him with cutting-edge technology. He was embedded with a portable teleportation device, meaning that Cyrax was able to travel freely between realms without the use of established portals. He can also withstand heat, as evidenced by the fact that he was able to fully immerse himself in the molten lava without suffering any harm, as per the request of Nitara. Cyrax is also capable of traveling short distances by dismembering his entire body and relocating to a new place by reassembling his body parts, which transport to him individually. The conclusion. Although a minor character appearing in similar storylines throughout the lore of Mortal Kombat, Cyrax is a human turned cyborg against his will, which makes way for a profoundly heart-wrenching and impactful story. Cyrax was always shown to be against the cyber initiative taken up by the Lin Kuei, as he never truly wanted to let go of his humanity in return for absolute obedience and destructive powers. Rightly put, Cyrax was always an extremely misguided antagonist, as he was forced to perform actions that his humane self would never have agreed to follow. Cyrax's character arc usually comprises Kuai Liang's Sub-Zero assisting him in returning back to his senses and regaining his morality, humanity, and nobility. Cyrax, on multiple occasions, is seen to be resorting to self-destructive measures for the greater good. It also acts as his escape from a life that he never desired through one final act of redemption, which is a direct indication towards his disdain for his current existence and his morals as a human being. If you like our content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thank you so very much. Have a good one, and please be safe.